Okay, am I on or... Oh, I don't hear myself. Uh-oh, sound. What's wrong with the sound? Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think so. Okay. All right, I think I'm going to start. All right. All right, okay. So I wanted to just come on and talk about getting ready for Arttober. So some of you may be joining Inktober or Calmtober or Peachtober or Cozytober or all kinds of tobers. So I just wanted to really get myself ready. So I thought, oh, I'll go live and I will kind of go over my materials, and hopefully that will help kickstart it and keep me going through the session. So the challenges that I'm going to be joining are a few of these. So I'm going to join one by my friend Michelle Mold Artist here on YouTube, and this is her list, and so I'm going to be joining hers. And also Chris Piasek. This is different from what I show on the channel, but it's something that I enjoy, and so I'll be joining my Stinkytober. Is it Stinkytober or Stinktober? Stinktober. And then I'll be joining Crix's art, Calmtober. Hers is always very lovely and nice to do. It's really nice to see her work at the end. Okay, so this is me getting prepared. So a good friend of mine that I paint with almost every Saturday, Mel, she was talking about getting a large sheet of watercolor paper and cutting it into little 4x6 sheets so that she had one sheet for every day. And I thought, oh, that's great. I'm not so sure I want a bunch of little sheets. I thought, oh, wouldn't it be nice if it was a concertina? So here in this video, can I speed it up? Yeah, so you just see me, I'm just measuring my spaces, and then you can't see me cutting them, but you can see me counting them here. So then I tore them into strips and folded them. So because I wanted 7 in each row for a week, or at least 7, then I measured out, instead of dividing by, the sheet was 22 by 30. So I brought it down to 28 inches so I could divide out by 7. So that gave me 4 inches each. And on the 22 side, those are also 4 inches divided into 5 weeks. So on each one I had a 2-inch overhang, which I didn't grab it. So now I have 2 little 2-inch concertina books as well. So the top one only has 5 because October 1st is on a Tuesday and I'm going through Saturday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then the 3 weeks in the middle are 7 days. And then the last day, of course, has the rest of the month on them. So 5 again. So that is what I did to get ready. And so now I'm just going to show you the materials. So first, let's look at that concertina. Don't really need that there, but oh well. Okay, let's look at that concertina. So here it's all folded up. So if you can see, there's a little 1 here in the corner. So then when I'm going to open it up, I'm going to have the whole first week back up there. So I'll have the whole first week of the Tober challenge there, and then so on and so forth. So here's 7. So that's the second week. the 3rd, the 4th, and then the 5th has just the final days of the month. And I got 140 pound 300 GSM watercolor paper from my local, well, not so local, but the closest Blick, about 30 miles down the road. And so I was very happy to get that and do that. So now I've got something manageable. I think a little 4x4 square is manageable for the day. Now how I'm going to actually combine, let's get back to this one. So let's say for day 1, for Michelle's there's a sphere, and then for Crix's, hers is a teapot. So that's pretty easy to combine. They're both round. Now for Chris's over here, xxxTOBER, that's totally different. So before I go into my materials, let me show you what that would even be about. So this is on my iPad, and this is not, let's see if I can bring this up here without knocking everything down. Oops, I didn't. There we go. And so I think one of the prompts is something to do with a bat. Let's see, let me go back and look. There's a fat cat. Oh, there's a bat Dan on day 8. Okay, so I don't know if this would be a bat Dan, but what I did start doing is just going through some shapes. And so, oh, here's one I can show you. I think day 2 is a fat cat. So this is my beginnings of a fat cat, and this is just the base layer, and I'll start putting some other textures and things on top of that. But that'll be another, I think I'll make another video about that, so I don't go over that too much here. But anyways, this was my take on a bat, and I was just trying to put my own spin on it and put one of my little landscapes that I did behind it to kind of feel like he's, for some reason, sadly, flying over the landscape. But anyways, I digress. Let's go back to talking about the materials. So let me put this down. Okay, so far I've got the paper. I know what paper I'm going to use. Oh, I want to show that in just a minute. And then I grabbed some Neocolors. So these are the Neocolors that I picked out. When I look at them, it's a lot of greens, I think. Even though the prompts are not landscaped, for some reason, or for some reason, I'm gonna incorporate them more into like a landscape. So I only have like, if I was doing them in rainbow order, yeah, we've got yellow, and then we've got a myriad of greens. Are these the exact same one that I picked out twice? I did. Okay, you can go over there. All right, so now it doesn't look too bad. Okay. So I've picked out a moss green, an olive brown, a dark olive, and a light olive. For the yellows, I have Sahara yellow and a pale yellow, and then this is a salmon. And then for blues and grays, I only have one blue. I have a light cobalt, and the gray, I have a light gray, and then this is actually called beige, but it ends up more as a gray. I've also got a pain gray, so I've got a range of grays, and then I've got a raw sienna for a brown. And I either plan on keeping these on these trays or putting them all together on like one tray, and maybe I'll grab that in a second. Okay, so then paper, and I'll swatch these out maybe in a second. Neocolors, Then I grabbed some others. Well, let's do color pencils first because there's a lot of those. All right, so on color pencils, we have quite a few here. So I've got some Holbein, I've got Faber-Castell, I've got Derwent Drawing, Derwent Lightfast, Derwent Pastel, and I even have, when we go into the greens, I've got ink tints, not ink tints, Graphitint, a Graphitint pencil, and then I do have a few ink tints in here as well. So this is quite, probably too many, probably more than I need, but you will notice some similarities in the colors that I chose. And again, I'll probably swatch these out too in a second. So moving on, then of course I'm going to use some watercolor, I think, for base layers. So since I'm going to be doing this mostly at home, I'll just be using my Daniel Smith set, but I will show you a couple of my little sets, because some of these prompts I would imagine I'll do them maybe out in plein air. All right, then here I have some other items that I don't usually use. I've got two Sailor Fude pens. One is a 55-degree nib. Can see that, maybe. Okay, it's hard to do it. There we go. And this one is a 44. That seems funny that it would be an even number, or 45-degree nib. So let's see if I can put them close together and see the difference. Maybe, maybe not. Anyways, that's the two Sailor pens. And then I also have a Zig brush pen in white and a Pentel art brush in gray. The number is 137. And then I have some Montana acrylic inks. I thought to put a little larger block of color maybe in the back, but these seem a little big to use for such a tiny sheet of paper. And then I do have a couple shades of blue and yellowish green here as well. So I cut a few of the papers because admittedly when I first started cutting the sheets, a good thing I got 5 sheets of watercolor, 22 by 30 sheets, which is very large sheets, but I had them all spaced out, and then I put them on the mat and I started cutting them, and then I stopped myself after I did 2 rows. It's like, you weren't supposed to cut them, you were supposed to fold them. So it's okay because now I have quite a lot of sheets of 4x6, which is great. So it's perfect. But I thought, since I'm using the similar paper, maybe I could swatch on here. And so I think what I'll start with are and I don't think I'll stop and do like color names and things like that. I kind of just want to see the range of what I picked out, because I did this last night on the sofa and maybe it was not the best lighting. It wasn't in the daylight, so let's see if I am actually going to like this. Okay. Here we go. All right, so I'll start with the Holbein peach. Maybe I'll come in a little bit. Okay, so let's just see. What I did want to do is try to do some color combos, but I'm a little nervous about doing that live because it takes me a little bit to figure things out. I don't mean color combos, I mean like a color palette, like picking a color palette, because what I thought of originally was that I would pick a color palette for each week. I better pick that up. yeah, a color palette for each week. And I still probably will maybe spend some time today figuring that out. Okay, so now we've got a Derwent Light Fast, and these are pretty much the same. One is wheat, one is champagne, but you can see that there is a subtle difference there. And then this is a Derwent Pastel Yellow Ochre. So it's a little messy, but I like it. And then we're going to go into the greens, which is a Holbein. Can't read it. Maybe if I put it up. Cool green. Okay. I never had Holbein pencils before, and so I got 6 of them. You know, at Blick you have to buy 6 for the special price, and I like them. I was painting with my friend Michelle Mold yesterday, and I said, why didn't you ever tell me about Holbein? And I asked if she liked them more than Luminance, and she said no. But for the moment, I think I kind of like them a little bit more than Luminance. Okay, so now we're going back to Derwent Drawing. And these look pretty similar, but one is a Graphy tint that is water soluble. And another Derwent Drawing. These are pretty similar, but one is a pale cedar and one is a crag green, which I probably only need one. So that's why I'm kind of glad I'm doing it this way now. In the light of day, so I can see. Tell me what your favorite color pencils are to use. Do you like using Holbein better than Caran d'Ache Luminance? Let me know in the comments. Okay, this is another water soluble. And so that green is a little bright, but it kind of still is similar, isn't it? Okay, now we're going to the blues. So we've got a Derwent Drawing, that's an ink blue. This is a Holbein Horizon Blue. Trying to keep them in order. This is a dark indigo. Again, I think I'm having some, oops, it has green on it. Some similar colors. Okay. Oh, that's all the blues. 3, that's all I did. Oh my goodness. Oh no, I have one more. Dark and, oh, I forgot this one from Holbein. An indigo. Okay. Those are all too much the same. But I think I just didn't like a brighter blue is what happened. Okay, so this is an Inktense. And that is water soluble. It's more like an ochre, but it is a mustard, I believe. Yeah, mustard. And then this is a Derwent Drawing Chocolate. I think what I'm going to find is all of these are kind of similar. And this is a Light Fast Natural Brown. And then I've got a brown ochre and a warm earth, which that is the brown ochre. Warm earth. Don't know, quite a lot of similarities. Okay, and then my, oh, this was a blue. All right, I'll put you back with the blues. Okay, then I just have 2 grays. One is a Cool Gray by Holbein and a Mountain Gray by Graphy Tint, which is going to be water soluble. Perfect. Okay. and a cool gray. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Should I squeeze in the neo colors next to it? I think I will, just to see some similarities. Okay, so we're gonna do neo color. I think I'll do a few and then I will swatch it out. Okay, that is the pale yellow. And the Sahara yellow. Okay. So we've got that one. Pale yellow. Not going to show up too much on the camera. Sahara yellow. Good. Okay, let's go into the greens. I've got a light olive, a dark olive, a olive brown, and a moss green. All right, let's see how those pan out. Nice. Nice as well. Good, okay. And now we're going to the blue, the only blue I have, a light cobalt blue. I think because I'm just thinking of light blues for the sky and then darkening them up with gray. Okay, and then I have 3 grays. I've got a light gray, the beige, which doesn't classify as a gray, but, and then the Payne's gray. Payne gray, not Payne's gray. Okay. Like it. Like it, and okay, so pretty similar colors, definitely, but also these are kind of similar. I may not need so many, and definitely here, like I don't need the crag green and the pale cedar. So I'll probably do some eliminating with that. Okay, so if that is that, put that here. Then I will go to, okay, this is just the Pentel gray pen, and I like it because I can do it lighter, can have a lighter grip and get some nice texture. So I like that. Of course, the white is going to be white. You're never going to see it. Maybe if I put it over this, you'll see it, but it could also help make grays. Better clean that off. And then the Sailors. Probably if you've seen one fountain pen, you've seen them all. I have it inked with Rory and Klinger Lily. So that was the 55, and this is the 44. Okay, so for the Montana acrylics, now this pen is a mixture. I think I was trying to make some greens, and it's not a bad green. I like it, but I thought it could be something quick for a background. This might be some kind of gray or blue. I mixed these when I first got them and not too much experience with them. So I have quite a few cans that I mixed that I'm not happy about the colors, but there they are nonetheless. Okay. And then, and this one's really bright. Maybe not, but I like all of those. Now these are straight from the can. These are not mixed. Sorry, they're noisy. I just don't want to. And so this is quite bright. So I'm not sure about that. It would go nice underneath, like if I'm trying to show sunlight hitting. But there is the white, and what I typically do is kind of mix. And you see how that immediately will make that a pale color. I do have a few more colors, but they're kind of like a shock green and a really dark gray. So I thought these are good for now. So that is that. And then of course the watercolors, I don't really have those curated, but I'll just use those as they come. But like I said, I don't know if I'll use those all the time. I know that whatever I put here in the tray or the containers, I will use. The next thing I wanted to show is I had a subscriber in one of my other videos say that, I think it was a gentleman, when they get the Trader Joe's tins or any other tins, that the top lid will come off and fit on the bottom, and you can use that. He uses it as another water tray, or it can hold paper. So I got to thinking, so this is what I ended up doing. Okay, so on the bottom tray, I did cut some of this paper, and I put magnets, not for anything to go underneath it, but for this second row. And you'll notice there's magnets in every corner as well to kind of sit on top, and you heard that little click, or maybe not. I'll get it closer to the microphone. And it's a little tricky. It's because of the magnets. I think the power, I need to make sure they are aligned in the corners because it keeps doing this little thing, and I don't want it to do that. See? I think it has to do with maybe the direction my magnet is in. Actually, yeah, that fixed it. Yay. Oh no, now it's doing it in the back. Okay, so I got these little quarter pans in here, and I mixed these last night. So this is a fresh mixed palette with Holbein wash. So I think I might be using something like this. Let's see how similar it is to these colors. And I think I'm okay with swatching it on, because these cards I want to be like, oh, this is what I'm using. But I'm pretty confident in this one. So let's just do it. Okay, this is falling. All right, here we go. Let's start with whatever this is over here. Okay, fine with that. Let's go across. Okay. All right, so far I don't have any lavenders in the colors I picked out. Good morning, Aloria. Nice to see you. How are you today? Are you ready for your art challenge, Aloria. I know you have your guide as well, your prompt list, the cozy one. I actually think I have, let me see, I thought I had a picture of it. Let me check my photos real quick. Yep, I do. Okay, so let me see. So, not sure yet, just rolled out. Oh, rolled out of bed. Okay, I hear you. So, for those of you, let me actually show you from Aloria's channel, her list. And I will crop that a bit so we don't have to see everything. But this is Aloria's list that you can find on Instagram. 3 to 4 small paintings a day. Yeah, I think I'm trying to, 3 to 4 small paintings a day, that's a lot. And this is, let me add her at here. This is at I think, is this your whole handle, Aloria? Or is there more? I can't go to your YouTube channel right now. So, if anybody's interested, and Aloria also has a cozy October list, and it looks very cozy, so I might incorporate this one as well. At the beginning, Aloria, I just showed the list that I was doing, so, and here's Aloria's list as well. Ah, you're filming them, so you're trying to get, oh, Aloria's art. Okay, let me do that again. I'm going to put that back up, and I can edit this. Aloria's art. I think I got it right. There we go. You think. Okay, well, you check it out and let me know. If I look at you on Instagram, it's just Aloria. But either way, I think we got it. Good. Okay, I'm going to take it off now. All right. So, oh, you're going to do 3 to 4 small paintings today. Oh, okay, I get ya. I get ya. Yeah, I'm going to do some warm-ups today. Oh, it wasn't available years ago. Yeah, when I did my YouTube channel, Diana Lisa, there was a few others, but they weren't creators. It was like 1 or 2, 3 subscribers. It wasn't really a channel, but I still couldn't take the name because it was taken. So anyways, everything still worked out. It's just Diana/Lisa, but I can still do at Diana Lisa, and everything shows up. Okay, so what I was doing was I swatched out all the pencils that I'm using and the Neo colors, and also, let's see. So I'm using Holbein, Derwent Drawing, Derwent Lightfast, one Derwent Pastel, a little bit of Derwent Graphic Tint, and these Neo colors. So I swatched all those out, adding in a Sailor Food A55, 44, a Pentel Gray art brush, and a Zig white brush. And then I swatched out a few Montana cans there. Some bought, and then a few custom mixes. I need a few more empty ones so I can mix again. All right, and then this is a palette that I put together last night. And so I'm always messing with the palette, so it's just a new little one. I got 2 extra tins and took the lids off, so now I have one is paper, magnets, and one is the palette. And then on top, that's where the painting will go, the sponge, the brush is in here, and then just a few colored pencils on this one, no Neo colors. So I was just swatching out this color palette that I did last night to see how it complements, what paints are those? Oh, these are all Holbein gouache. For some reason, I've only been making them with my little takeout palettes with gouache, and they do crack. I did put a tiny bit of gum arabic, but I emphasize the word tiny, like it was barely anything. I could have put a little bit more, I think. But I don't have a lot of watercolors. I did have some Holbein gouache left over, so I need to make another purchase soon of either watercolors or gouache, but I think I'm leaning more towards some Winsor & Newton gouache. I know that my friend Mel does not like Winsor & Newton, but I found that their gouache, because this one is a Winsor & Newton gouache, this yellow ochre. So, and these are all Holbein with a little bit of gum arabic. So see how this one stays, it doesn't crack. And so I like that. So I don't know. That's why I'm thinking Winsor & Newton gouache. Oh, you have a set of Holbein gouache and you haven't used it? Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, they do crack. Oh, the watercolors did the same, so that didn't matter? Okay. Well, and yeah, so these I just mixed last night. Not really with a lot of light in the room, but I just wanted to see compared to these I just did without thinking. I just kind of threw some colors together. So I wanted to see how they compared to what I curated for this month for October challenges. So I think they went okay. This one was already mixed from another. That one does not go very well, but maybe for a tiny splash of color. Yeah, so, well, I mean, the only similarities I see to what I picked out are here and maybe here and here. The purple, maybe not, but maybe can add a dash of color. This one for sure, no. I do not know where this one came from. But the rest of these would work fine. So I could use this palette for the challenge as well. Yeah, I think it's going to work. I also wanted to show I made another edition. So I had originally had this little one, and it's just thin enough for some paper. I can put the paper there. I've used it at the beach a couple times. But mainly, again, it's the slim profile. And then last week or the week before, I had ordered this off eBay, and I didn't really think about the measurements, but it works. But this is a Curbs Tobacco Urge Bantron. Anyway, so I did make a palette here, and maybe I'll swatch this one out too. But I thought really what I should do is order the art toolkits, the empty little pans, the ones that go in the tiny palette, and maybe use those here instead of these plastic half pans, and maybe I can get a little bit more in there. So that is that, and there's magnets in there. And then I got these as well. I thought they were bigger. I didn't look at the measurements. And so in here then I can fit quite a few little new colors. So then that is my nice little stack. And I was gonna put it in my peg and all, but it's kind of, this peg and all is a little bit too big for this. But I thought that was cute. Maybe I should switch these out too. But not on here because I don't think I'll use these. So maybe I'll do them on a separate sheet of paper because these Yeah, the yellow is bright. I didn't mix it. I think all of these are, actually they are, now I remember. They're all straight from the tube. So this is Daniel Smith, Quinn Rose, no, orange, burnt orange. I need to look at it. I've never used Neocolors. Are they more like crayons or oil pastels? They feel more like crayons. They don't feel like oil pastels. And they're water soluble. So I'll show you here just a second. They really are really versatile, and I like them a lot. Okay, so this one, I think I just did these basic colors and the white so that I could just mix them, because obviously I wasn't going to get a good custom palette out of so few colors. Okay, yeah, let me show you back the Neocolors. I love Neocolors. All right, so if I go to my palette here, so Neocolors, you can see the marks are kind of thick there. And so that's how they go on. They're really smooth. They don't feel like, you know, a Crayola crayon. And then they are water soluble as well. So either I could drag that through, or I can mush it out. Oh no, I'm happy that you're here. Nobody was here before, so I'm very grateful that you're here. Sometimes what I do out in the field with them too is I will just rub the top of them with my water brush if I want to get some color down. And you can see that then it acts pretty much like watercolor in that there isn't any marks. I mean, that just gives you a little bit of a wash. So you can just take your wet paintbrush and even let it dry out, and you can get some nice, you know, sky. They're not waxy. They are, I guess they are waxy, but they don't, it just doesn't feel. So yeah, I guess you're right, Aloria. They are, I mean, feel like wax. Maybe it's like a soft wax, but not as soft as an oil pastel. No, not nearly. And the reason that I like the versatility is that you can use them as a watercolor. You can also use them at the end of your painting if you want, or, you know, final marks over the top. And then just for texture, you can do that as well. But of course you can do that with the Neocolor ones as well. The mystery meat of our materials. Yes, but mystery meat sometimes doesn't have a good effect. Like, it probably is mystery for a reason. They're hiding something, but in this case, there's nothing to hide. Like, these are solid. These are good. And like I said, I every little kit that I have almost, I like them so much that they're included. Even, you know, in this tiny form, I'm going to be able to use them. I was thinking, let me see, what else do I have around here? So yeah, definitely. But I know you can re-watch, but what I had in the beginning, Aloria, is just explaining that how I was doing the challenges was I got a 22 by 30 sheet of watercolor paper from Blick, and then I cut it in strips. And so basically every strip is a week. So October 1st is a Tuesday, so there's only 5 in this concertina. And then the next 3 weeks, there's a full 7 days. So I'm doing little 4x4 concertinas. And so they're all labeled for the week. I think what I thought I would do maybe in this video, but I don't think I will now, is maybe list in the corner the prompt. So if it was, you know, teapot or whatever it is, fox, like fox for the first one, and teapot, like I think your first one or one of yours is fox, and then let me see what yours was. What was your first one? Yeah, your first one was fox, and I think Crix's first one is teapot, and like Michelle Mold, her first one is sphere. So I thought, well, I could put the 3 prompts here really small and then do my combo, which I think it might be fun to try some combos. But I think everything is probably going to end up a lot like a landscape, or just very simple, just the item and no background. So we'll see how it turns out. Yes. Categorize them. I would categorize them as any other material that you have that is water soluble. So like watercolor markers are water soluble. Well, like even the Derwent Graphitint, the Derwent ink tints. So I think I would, yeah, you could classify them along the lines of your colored pencils. You're just not going to get that fine line because they're, they're as thick as a crayon. But it's a solid wax. They do have pastels, and I was thinking about giving those a try. I just don't want the mess of pastels. I do like the mess. I like messing with them. But then when they're in there, I have to worry about either getting some of the wax paper or something in between so it doesn't bleed, or fixative, and I didn't really want to mess with that too much. So I was going to grab a couple of my other little kits that I've revamped or made, but I think that's fine. I can do that on another video. Are you working off multiple lists? Yes, these are the lists that I was going to work off of. So let me go back and show you. Where was my list? Okay, let's just go backwards. That was me making them. Yes. So here's the list, and I'm going to add yours in there too. So yeah, I'm going to do Michelle's. This is Chris Piasek. I was explaining earlier that this is totally different. This is digital art, but something that I like to do or want to do. And I was showing that, let me show you that screen before I go. I lost my screens. Where am I? Okay, let's go this way. Here we go. So digital, so I won't stay too long on this because I know that's really not the point of this. But so I was trying to combine, like this is supposed to be like a little sad bat flying over the landscape, and it's my own landscape. Yes, I make myself laugh with my own art. But one of the prompts on Chris Piasek's is a fat cat. So this is the fat cat, but it's just a base layer. Like I'll add some stuff on it on top. But yeah, that's just kind of a side thing that I like to do. But the bird guy has some friends. So if I take these guys off of here, 1 second. I mean the bat guy, what am I saying? The bird guy. So yeah, I made some other friends for him as well. So we've got an angry owl and kind of a fish bird and a little sassy one there in the middle. So anyways, that's kind of other challenge. So kind of doing 2 challenges. I don't know how much I'll be able to get done like in a day, but I am certainly going to try. So yeah, so those are, oh, let me go back to the lists so that you can see those lists again. Yeah, so we have Crix's list, Michelle's list, yeah, and Chris Piasek's list. And I think I'm going to add your list. I think I can do that. Not a problem. Software for streaming or software for the, yes, that's what you mean, right? Streaming. Why do you care about the iPad? Probably not asking about the iPad. I use eChem Live. And so yeah, that's what I use for my teaching, and that's what I use, yeah, for this, for my YouTube. So it only works on Macs, but if you have a Mac, it's nice. For digital art, I use Adobe Fresco. So yeah, I like it a lot. I used to use Procreate back in the day, but yeah, I use Adobe Fresco for that. I really want to start trying to make some patterns, and it really isn't that difficult. But I just haven't gotten there yet. I just don't know what to do. You know, things look cute, and then I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'll make them into a pattern. It's like, yeah, it kind of looks cute, but then, I don't do anything with it. So I keep saying this is the year that I'm going to do stuff with it. So do you use Photoshop to just clean up your artwork at the end before you make it into prints? I looked at your website last week. It's beautiful. I know there's a delay. I have to wait. Oh, I forgot I could. Oh, and I can also, I didn't even do this. I think I can. Yeah, I can do that. I can add, you can even add comments. So that's why I did this. So I can add, if there's some comments that are interesting during the stream, I can do that as well. Oh, you have a display tablet for digital art. Okay. Very nice. So I think, I don't know how to, I think I just click off of it to get it off. I haven't tried that one yet. But I like the way it shows up with your logo. I mean, this is the font that I chose, but it shows up with your logo. I like that. Oh yeah, OBS. I tried OBS for a while because I wanted to try to do some other stuff. But honestly, it was difficult, very difficult, and it wasn't as user-friendly as Ecamm, but I know there's other things out there like StreamYard and some other ones. But yeah, I mean, every one of them has some kind of limitations, but I've been using this one since I think 2018, 2019. And so I don't know, I don't use all the bells and whistles, kind of like when you have a computer, like you don't use it to its full potential. But it does get me kind of what I want to do. So yeah. All right. Well, this was fun. Thank you so much again for coming on, Loria. And I'll be adding yours to my challenge. But anyway, have a great rest of your Sunday. The weather's good here. I'm sure the weather's good where you are. It's too bad they don't have it for PC. It is, because it's a really good, software. It does a lot. There's a lot of videos, it's a whole world. But I think there are other ones that do really well too. And I think it's StreamYard or Streamlabs. One of those is really good. So I just don't have the capacity to learn a whole nother thing. Anyways, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks for your prompts. Good luck with yours as well. And I'm sure I'll do another one and check on our progress. So have a great rest of your day. Yeah, me too. Looking forward to seeing everyone's work. All right. I'll say goodbye for now. Bye, everyone. Bye, Aloria.